Hey, did you hear about the new Sonic Prime announcement?
Oh yeah, I did.
Well, what do you think?
I have completely normal and average feelings about it. Completely average.
Oh god, I don't know if I'll be able to finish this in time for Friday. These outlines always take a while. Hyperfixation, go fast! Hello everybody, it's Allie back here again with another video. And on this week's installment... There's other people in this house right now, so I can't be too loud, but I think you get my point. And we are here today to talk about Netflix's most recent announcement of Sonic Prime. At last, after all these years, I return to my roots. If you think you've seen me get overly passionate about a subject before, you ain't ever seen me talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Sheshrin was just the warm-up. This is the real shit. Except with a lot less bitching and a lot less discourse and people telling me to never make videos again in the comments. And just as a quick side note, for everybody who commented on the Sheshrin video, thank you so much for helping me out. For you see, it was weeding day. And I found the weeds. There is a few flowers in here though, they're just pretty hard to find amongst all the weeds. But the ones that I do see are very pretty, ooh. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Because today we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. As I have already said multiple times. One sec. Now we're having a good time. For those of you who don't know, earlier this week, Netflix announced its official new 3D Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon that's coming out in 2022, Sonic Prime. It's going to be animated by a WildBrain studio in Vancouver, and both Sega and WildBrain will be participating in production, distribution, and licensing. Not only that, but it has a whole new team of writers, with Man of Action Entertainment serving as the executive producer, and the teams behind Ben 10 and Big Hero 6 serving as the showrunners. Now, there's not a whole lot that we know about this show so far, especially because it's just been announced and because it's coming out next year. So therefore, there can't be anything for me to really talk about, right? Wrong! This is less of an analysis/rant video and more of a theorizing/prediction video, including things that I personally hope will be in Sonic Prime based on what we know so far. And in case you couldn't tell, I'm a little excited about this. Just a little. Do not tell me to calm down, Samantha. My age-old hyperfixation knows no bounds. So let's get into it, shall we? First of all, a plot synopsis. Or at least what I can give you in one. I tried to get to WildBrain's website for this, but it wouldn't load for some reason, so you're getting a screenshot from Tumblr. The 24-episode animated adventure for kids, families, and longtime fans draws upon the keystones of the brand and features the blue blur of video game fame in a high-octane adventure where the fate of a strange new multiverse rests in his gloved hands. Sonic's adventure is about more than a race to save the universe. It's a journey of self-discovery and redemption. What? Bitch, can you believe that we're getting it into the Spider-Verse with Sonic the Hedgehog? Finally, after all these years. You know, they probably really just looked at the timeline of the games and was like, nope. Do the games even have a timeline at this point? Is that a thing that they have? Because it feels like they do, but it also feels like they don't, and I'm very confused. Now, let's examine a little bit of what this all could mean. It clearly says that it is for kids, families, and longtime fans. Therefore, it's basically for all ages, as Sonic the Hedgehog usually is. But the best part about that is that it specifies that it is also for longtime fans, and not just kids. For the past several years, excluding Forces, because I don't really know who that game is for, Sonic the Hedgehog has kind of gone in a downward spiral and been dumbed down a lot for kids. See many of the features of Sonic Boom and Sonic Lost World. Oh, Sonic Lost World. The description also says that it is a high-octane adventure specifically. Now, I looked up the definition, and high-octane usually means powerful or dynamic. And I do love me some dynamic storytelling. And it also clearly states that it is not just an adventure about saving the universe, but it's a journey of self-discovery and redemption. What? Good storytelling? In my Sonic the Hedgehog? It's more likely than you'd think. Okay, you know what? We're gonna take this down. It's very distracting to me. Now that we've got all of that covered, let's get into theory and prediction, shall we? So, because the multiverse is canon, let us consider what exactly that could entail in a calm and orderly fashion. Boom Universe? Sonic Underground? Sonya and Manic? Sad AM? Freedom Fighters? Storybook titles! So multiple universes. So multiple zones. Which means a lot of zone hopping. Zone hopping. Zone cop. Sonic! For the last time, give me Scourge or give me death! Wait, Ken Penders won't let us do that? Well then. Okay, we're calm. It's okay. We're fine. Now, going off of the multiverse, it really makes me wonder where exactly the story is going to be set. Obviously, it'll be set in multiple locations because it's a multiverse. We're going to be going probably many different places. But because this is a multiverse, it's really making me think about what exactly is canon and what isn't. It's supposed to follow the timeline of the games, but does anybody really know what that means? Does that mean Unleashed is canon? And that all the human cities around the world are going to be there? If Sonic Sad AM is here, then what about Knothole? What about Soliana? And if Soliana exists, then what about Elise? And Silver? And Blaze? And if Blaze exists, Soul Dimension? But aside from all of that, let's cover the self-discovery and redemption aspect, which is what's really interesting to me here. First of all, my son is finally getting the character development and growth that he deserves. It's been 84 years. It's been 84 years, and finally we're at this point, as Gordon Ramsay would say.
Finally. Some good fucking food.
Now, I think it's pretty obvious that the self-discovery part is going to play into the multiverse thing. And my personal prediction with that, assuming that Sonic is already an established hero at this point, is that with meeting different versions of himself, he's going to finally start to understand who exactly he is outside of being a hero. Because as long as we've known him, that's all he's ever really been. And probably all that he's ever known himself as. The redemption part's a little bit trickier though, since I'm not exactly sure what that could mean in regards to Sonic himself. It could be referring to some underlying thing from the games that we haven't really noticed until now, or something that we haven't seen yet that Sonic Prime will establish when it comes out. It could also be referring to another character, like possibly Shadow or somebody else, but personally, I think it'd be way more interesting if it stuck to Sonic. Why does he need to find redemption? Why is that a thing? Why is this happening? Tell me, Sega! And now, of course, for my hopes and fears for the series. My first hope for the series: good writing. Please, for the love of God, let it have good writing. Need I remind you of Lost World and Forces? I don't think I need to. All I want is a consistent story, decent pacing, decent world building, non-timeline shenanigans, a plot that I can actually take seriously without having it shoved repeatedly in my face like Shadow the Hedgehog. But apparently that's usually too much to ask for, because Sonic Team wouldn't know continuity if it bit them in the ass. Luckily though, as I stated before, we're getting new writers. Therefore, there is a higher possibility that we will actually have fairly decent writing. Especially because they were the teams behind Ben 10 and Big Hero 6. I didn't watch all of Ben 10, but I know it was pretty damn good. And sure, Big Hero 6 has its flaws, but I still like it. And I especially ask for good writing because the primary demographic is technically for children. And a lot of children's media tends to get dumbed down these days. Very dumbed down. Like so dumbed down that it is actually alarming sometimes. You realize kids are smarter than you actually give them credit for, right? Luckily though, there is quite a bit of children's media out there that is very well done and handles some heavy ass topics. Not only that, but they often handle them in a way that are easy for kids to understand without talking down to them. I mean, look at Steven Universe. That's a kid's show, but throughout the entire series, the main character suffered trauma that was so debilitating that in the quote-unquote sequel series, Steven Universe Future, he suffered the severe after effects of it by self-destructing and literally turning himself into the monster he believed himself to be. That show was for kids, and it was so well done. There's no reason that Sonic Prime can't be just as good. I want to be in tears by the end of those 24 episodes, Sega. Y'all better be bringing your A game, because the veterans are here now. Oh, who am I kidding? I'll probably be crying by the end of that show anyway. Second of all, good voice acting. I don't necessarily dislike the current voice actors. I think a few of them are actually pretty good and suit the characters very well. However, I know that the current voice actors are in the works of getting replaced. So while I do like most of the current ones, I am interested in seeing what they'll do with them next. And like I said, I don't really have a problem with any of them, though I prefer Travis Willingham as Knuckles over David B. Mitchell. I think it's just mostly Roger Craig Smith that I have issues with. I think he's fine as Sonic most of the time in the games that he's in, and I do think he's pretty good at voicing Sonic, when the writing is actually decent. Like in Sonic Boom. Sonic Forces, on the other hand, was a complete disaster, and not just in the voice acting department. I swear, if I ever have to hear Roger Craig Smith utter that line again, I will come to the studio and throw down myself. And all I ask, while this is a very specific request, is that you don't hire Bryce Papenbrook. No, I will not elaborate. Just please don't. Oh, how I long for the Jason Griffith days of old. On the other hand, if you get rid of Mike Pollock as Eggman, then we're gonna have issues. If you can actually find somebody who can voice him as masterfully as Mike Pollock can, then be my guest, but you're on thin ice. We have characters. Something that I'm really hoping for that none of the games have ever delivered on in many, many years is that we eventually have all of my children here. We haven't seen most of the cast in forever, and it's about high time that they made an appearance again. And on top of that, I hope for well-written characters. I just want them to be themselves again. And to actually be well-written as three-dimensional. You know, like the animation. And maybe, if we feel like it, maybe have some of that environmentalist theme going on there. I'll eventually make a solo video about the environmentalist themes in Sonic the Hedgehog, and how it's all gone downhill in recent years, but that's not for right now. The Sonic games have always kind of had an underlying theme of environmentalism going on, what with technology versus nature. So it might be kind of cool to see that represented in some way. Obviously it won't be the main focus, but you know, could be neat. And then of course, no fear. None of those things are gonna happen. One fear. Of course, Sonic is kind of known for having a franchise that's gone downhill in recent years, and writers that never seem to know exactly the direction they want to go when it comes to the games or the TV shows. Granted, Sonic Boom did have decent writing for what it was, and this doesn't really apply to Sonic StatAM or Underground. But overall, it's kind of taken a downturn. Sonic Force's writing was comical rather than serious, and Lost World was kind of just an insult to the series as a whole. Let's not have a repeat of Lost World. Thankfully though, it seems like we might actually have something good in our hands, and personally, I'm excited to see where it goes. Like I said earlier, you guys think you've seen me excited about something before, but oh boy, you haven't seen nothing yet. Buckle down, lads, because once this thing is out, we are gonna fucking party. And that's it! If you couldn't tell, I just really wanted to talk about this thing, and I'm interested to know what predictions you guys might have for it too. So therefore, the question of the week is, what are your own predictions for Sonic Prime? How do you think it'll be? How do you think it will be written? What do you think will happen? As always, let me know down in the comments. And if you have any ideas for things that you want to see me talk about, also let me know down in the comments. Or if you don't want to do that, feel free to tweet me at Alicia_Irvine. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.